Okay, KDAY Nation, this one's special because you don't understand. Me and Mr. Capone go way back, like decades way back. And now you are still doing your thing. You are still grinding, bro. Thank you. Man, listen, just to be in the industry this long, it's work. It's everyday work. So let's talk about it because a lot of people don't know. And I went on live before you came in, and I was like, "Hey, do you guys have any questions?" And really, it was just a lot of people saying salute. They were just like, "Show him that we salute him." You know, a lot of love. They were like, "We've been supporting him like since he started in the like '90s." You know what I'm saying? And that got me thinking because when you first started, I mean, your name, you know what I mean? You were grinding so much. A lot of people were, they were even referring to you as a swap me rapper. And I'm going to explain that right now because you know, with no major label deal, you were on Tower Records, Warehouse Records, Billboard placements long before. And it really was just a grind at that time. And I say swap me rapper. They say that because you would go to the swap me. I know because I would go to swap me too. And I would just see your CDs everywhere. And that's why they were calling that. But you were hustling.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. At the end of the day, like, nowadays, the new generation, they don't get it. They're like, hey, I think it was a swap me rapper. No, bro, we were in every music store. We're top 5 in the country. We're at Billboard charts. We're hitting every record. But yeah, when you go to swap me, you see us there too. And then back in the days, a lot of these rappers who came up or coming up now because digital, right? They were trying to get their music even just into the swap meet, and it wasn't easy to get in the swap meet because you have to have a name. So they would have Snoop Dogg, they had the old school, they would have the Chicano rap, all the top hits. So at the end of the day, you know, being everywhere is what counts, from the hoods to the big stores to the malls, and we were doing it, and that's what's kind of the new generation don't understand. They're like, oh, now we're on Spotify, we're doing big things. Like, bro, we were in the malls with the best high-end mall. People are in line waiting for the new CD come out. Remember, it was like coming out every Tuesday or Friday.
Right. It was like New Music Tuesday.
Exactly, yeah. So, you know, we had those days, you know.
Taking it back to the new generation, when you see the new generation getting deals off of, you know, one viral song, right? Yeah. Does it make you reflect on just how heavy your independent hustle really was?
Yeah, I mean, nowadays it's like, I don't want to say gimmick because I don't want to downplay anyone's success, but sometimes you get viral off, could be gimmick or just whatever, everybody just going along with it, and then you blow up. But as easy as it comes up, easy as it goes down too. Where in our times and legacies, it was about, you know, dropping albums. You want to hear the whole album, you want to hear the hits, you want to hear the jams, and then it was just like another album next year. Like, it was longevity, and that's why we're here. Longevity, we're still here because it's the longevity music that lasts, not the one hit, you know, boom boom hype, you know.
Exactly. Now let me just talk to you about TikTok, because right now you have TikTok on fire. Yeah. Okay, Facebook, IG numbers going crazy in the top 3.
Yeah.
So congratulations to you on that. How does it feel knowing that the movement you built from the trunk, from hustling, from hitting from city to city, is now taking over timelines?
No, that's what I'm saying. Like on TikTok, like, yeah, I got a certain amount of followers, a lot of followers, and it's crazy that I pop up on TikTok and then there's people like, no, like you would think TikTok's for the little kids or something, right? And there are people like, yo, I grew a bunch of music, and then there's people from everywhere just on TikTok. So I'm like, what the hell? TikTok is like crazy.
It is. I used to think TikTok was just for kids.
Yeah.
Until like I started seeing people like my age following, you know, TikTok and on there, and I'm like, oh, okay, there's more that goes on when it comes to TikTok.
Yeah. So I feel like TikTok is actually a lot of it is deeply into the fan base, because it's just, there's timeless ages of fans, young and old, that are popping up on TikTok. I'm like, what? I thought it was like a kid app, you know?
Exactly. No, so when you first heard, when they were like, hey, Capone, you're popping on TikTok, were you like, what the fuck?
I ran with it, and tell you the truth, like, I even get on those battles, you know, you do those little battles on TikTok.
Okay, they were saying that on the live right now. Talk about the battles.
Oh, yeah, man. I mean, we get on those battles, and believe it or not, I don't want to say it like that, but you get gifts, and that results into economical money. So like, even for you, you should sometimes get on that TikTok, because you could be, I'm not going to say how much you could possibly make, but you could make crazy money on TikTok.
When I was on live, that they were saying, ask them about the battles. Ask them about the battles. Yeah.
Crazy, man. TikTok does go crazy.
But we talked about battles. Let's talk about the catalog, though.
Yeah.
I like it with Nate Dogg.
Yeah.
You know, Still Sound Like a Summer Cruise, Through Cali. It's a timeless song. Then you've got the hitters like Don't Get It Twisted, Summertime Anthem.
Yeah.
It's not just music. This is West Coast DNA that we're talking about. about.
Yeah.
Out of all those classic joints, which one has made you stop and say, you know what? I'm really out there and I'm a problem right now. They got to respect it.
Man, I mean, first of all, just to do a song with Nate Dogg, well, I like it. That was a legendary move right there because everybody knows back then he was the hook king. You know what I'm saying? So he has songs with I don't know who's the biggest guys, but he did the songs with the biggest guys. And for me to have a song with him and playing on the radio, that was legendary enough. Then my song "Don't Get It Twisted" was played on the radio stations in L.A. It was top 5, so that's legendary. So I had a lot of like independent legacy hits that not being on an old major label, that they're playing me top 5 in the country, and I'm not even like signed. You feel me? So it was a power move, but eventually benefited me because that's all me.
That's what I was just gonna say right now. You weren't signed, but that means that you had total control.
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm still here. It's a lot of artists from back then who weren't in control, or we have hear stories about artists that they were so big, and then you get to see them, and you're like, damn, what happened?
What happened to them?
You know what I'm saying? But one thing, I guess I got lucky that I didn't get signed because I'm still here, relevant, and I'm doing big things with big players.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Talk to me. I want to know all the juicy details. How did that happen with you and Nate Dogg? How did you guys link up?
Shout out for Nitty. I'm pretty sure you know Nitty. Nitty. He was one of the guys that like, yeah, you need to do a song with Nate Dogg. And then we went down to his house. It might have been Woodland Hills, but back in the days, we were out there like in the SGVIE. So coming this way was like, where are we at? It felt like days coming to place. So we went to Woodland Hills, went to his house, chilled, did the song. And then, I don't know, it just came together, you know what I'm saying?
How was he when you first met him?
He seemed just real cool.
I never got to meet Nate Dogg. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, man, what I recall, like we talked, but he's just very short in his conversations. Like real cool, like a cool cat, you know what I'm saying? But there's also that side you see in Nate Dogg, like, he looks like he's serious, Yeah, so,
like you don't play.
So when you got that same vibe, I became that same vibe with him. So we were vibing on the same length. One wasn't overdoing everybody. We're just like vibing, like musically,
Yeah, and then of course, Don't Get It Twisted. That's what we were playing on the radio too.
Man, Don't Get It Twisted.
Yeah, so you, like I said, no major deal behind you, no major label. So everything is just you and your team.
Yeah,
just really hustling.
Yeah.
So how'd you tap in with Twist on that?
I mean, it was like we were hitting Billboard charts. We were selling crazy. People like, you're doing so good. You got to elevate to the next level, right? So I was getting calls from major labels to come through, but I told this interview to somebody that I would get emails like from, say, Capitol Records, right? And I wouldn't even read emails. I was a hoodful, so I wouldn't even read emails. And I looked through the emails. Someone's like, one day someone went through, you got Capitol Records sending you a message. You got all these labels say come to our office, and you didn't even reply to nobody. I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to use the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
But I was doing good anyway, so I didn't really care to meet. And then I later, when Kiss FM, they were even playing my music at one time. Julie Pilot and Kiss.
Shout out to Julie.
Yeah,
yes.
she called me and she goes, your song's top 5 in the station, and I got these labels that want to talk to you. Do you want to talk to them? And I was like, so I did take one conversation, and then it was like a headache. Come to our office, do this, 8 in the morning. I'm all the way out there in the IE at that time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I ain't going no 8 o'clock meeting. And then once I went to a little meeting, it was just like, we'll come back again. I was like, man, I'm just busy making these moves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was all about me just dropping music and making the moves, and shit, it paid off at the end. You know what I'm saying?
And so listen, for the real ones who've been rocking with you since day one, now we know a lot of new heads are catching on TikTok. We love that. What can they expect on August 15th? Because you're going to be touching the LA stage. Now, the Tarragon Ballroom, 1234 West 7th Street. Make sure you guys go ahead and tap in August 15th. But you bringing out any special guests?
Well, this is like my return, right? So like in I've been doing touring all around the United States. I've been going everywhere, every city. I still hit a lot of cities.
Right.
But somehow in LA, I've been disconnected for the last couple years, like not doing shows in LA too much. But this show right here, August 5th, it's not even announced. It's supposed to be announced like the end of May, right?
Okay, we're going to announce
but
it first.
But yeah,
Okay,
you guys,
come on.
Katie's going to get it,
We go way back, bro, yes.
So August 15th, is the Mr. Capone return. It's going to be at the Telegram Room. And, man, everyone who in whole LA has been waiting for this. They be sending me messages, when you come to LA. And I'm like, yo, like I can't just do it at a small little venue.
Right.
So now they got the Telegram. And I said, yeah, I'm down to do it over there. It's a new or nice venue. So It's at the ballroom, so I was like, let's pack this out, let's sell it out, you know?
Yeah, and your catalog runs deep. So that's why I'm like, any special guests that are going to be popping on stage.
Yeah. I mean, definitely you putting me on the spot, and
I always do it because I'm like, give me one or two, but I get it.
I don't want to.
I know there's some prizes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit them up. I'm gonna hit them up. It's gonna be crazy, but yeah, it's been a while, so I have to remotivate myself. Like, hey, bro, you know, we've done stuff in the past. Let's come back together and do this. And I've done stuff with so many people, from Bone Thug to Sugar Free to man, the list goes on.
Sugar Free's crazy. He's amazing on stage.
So I don't know who's gonna come, who's not, but because we haven't talked to a lot of these artists before for a while. But hey, it's always been love, so you never know. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's get into this because we also want to hit some things that have been whispered. There's been some slick talk over the years. Mr. Capone in your camp didn't really connect with black artists or part of the culture, but the fact speaks because you got records with Snoop Dogg, you got records with Nate Dogg, you got records with The Game, MC8, Sugar Free. I mean, these are West Coast legends, right? So break it down for us. What's the real behind those rumors? Like, I don't understand that because it speaks for itself on paper.
I trip out on like some of these because nowadays new podcasts, new rappers, new people who don't do their homework in history. They're like, the new generation rappers, they're doing better than the old generation rappers because we're collaborating, we're doing this and that. I was like, bro, we got records with Snoop Dogg, Nate Dogg, The Game. We've been the West Coast. We've been doing this for years. I mean, we're not like old school, like that old school. This is literally 10, 15 years ago.
Right.
It's not crazy times back then, but they're just like somehow there's a lot of new kid rappers and they don't get it. And it might not be them. It might have been the podcast. People don't know. But that's when you don't have real credibility podcasts interviewing people who don't know the game, the culture, whatever, and they feel just because Spotify or they did a song with somebody, they're bridging the gap. No, we've been doing this for years.
But sometimes it just takes, all it takes is really just doing your research.
Exactly, yeah.
Right?
So, you're letting it be known, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen, we have it here. It's on. You guys can go ahead and download and stream the songs. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, yeah.
And
we've been bridging gas. We've been doing music. Like, we did albums with MC8, Sugar Free, Little Flip out there. We're not even just West Coast. We've been doing with Texas. People have been saying, oh, Cali and Texas never connect. We've been doing Cali and Texas. Me and Lil Flip did 3 albums together, 4 albums. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this now. This is just something that I'm just thinking about because you're talking about it. So you've been traveling, touring. What state do you feel like the most loving besides Cali? Because you know what I'm saying. This is home, but that you're like, yo, I'll go to that state again and tour.
You know what? Every year it's a different city. But I've seen a lot like in Denver, Salt Lake City.
Oh, wow.
It just pops up new cities all the time. Like a new one surprised me. One of the ones that always used to surprise me was Chicago. That one was one of the ones. But it's just different cities always surprise me all the time. Tampa last year, I was like, oh, Tampa?
Tampa?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, so
Florida out there
Tampa,
with all them
Florida,
crazy people. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't come for me.
So, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just find new cities all the time. They're like, wow, this city's cracking.
No, I love that. Like, so what would you say? Because the way you hustle is freaking bananas. I will say that because I've seen it. I've been in this game for 20 years and I've seen your hustle since day one. So what would you say to the next generation of artists? How do you keep that bridge strong without losing your identity or really stepping on each other as artists? Like, what do you say to that next one? Because sometimes there's a lot of them that think they can just get a song and go viral, and it's like it doesn't really happen that way. You might get lucky, but there is a lot of work behind the red curtain.
Yeah, I feel like it's like you might have a better chance of scratching the lotto ticket to become big time than nowadays because everybody's trying to do it, but you have to stand out more than the rest. And for me, like in my time, it's about my pedigree. Like I was from the streets. I was really entrenched in the street life, been in trouble, been a leadership of my neighborhood and doing, the street shit.
Right.
So when I became in the music shit, or music stuff, it just got to the point where, I learned. I've been there, done that. So I learned how to politic correctly and keep moving forward and don't talk too much, handle business, don't get involved in all the side gossipies and all this stuff. Just go and win. And anything,
just block out the white noise.
Yeah, exactly.
Stay focused.
Just stay focused. Go straight on. Anything's in your way, obviously, then it's heads on. But if you focus and keep going straight, ain't no one gonna stop you. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this question because you've always had a strong presence in the streets. what's your secret to staying relevant through the digital shift? Because at one point it was like, you know what I'm saying, just really like grinding and going to the clubs and you know, passing out flyers and the CDs, and now it's shifted to digital.
Yeah.
How did that work for you? Because for me it was it was a lot of work for me. I had to really learn.
Like, honest to tell you the truth, I still feel like I'm learning, because I could do a show and I might have 1,000 people, and then there'll be a guy who's digitally popping and he might not have no one at a show, right? But I'm like, how come I don't got the views like him, but I got the people in the crowd? So what's wrong? You know what? Why is the connection not happening? I honestly don't have the answer, but I think I have the answer now. My answer to that is like when I look at, when you go to Spotify and go artists just like me, right? You'll see artists, I look at the list of 10 people, maybe 7 out of the 10 or 6 out of 10 are not doing music no more, right? So I'm like, oh, so maybe I'm not getting the algorithms of all the new stuff that's going on. So everything's digitally, right? So if someone's new today, let's just say OGZ right now, he's #1 popping right now. So OGZ's doing something, then some artist that maybe does a song with OGZ and then just stays in that lane because he's dropping so much stuff that the whole algorithm of his lane is on fire, right? So I'm disconnected with the new stuff. I'm more some of the guys who don't rap no more, like, you know, Little Rob's in the list, but when has he dropped really a song? There's a guy, Mr. Sancho, I seen on the list. I'm like, he's not Mr. Nidal passed away. So I'm like, I'm in a list of people who are not really dropping music no more.
Dang, I didn't think about that.
So I'm thinking that was just what I recently thought, like maybe that's the problem here. Maybe I'm in the wrong algorithms, and I could keep dropping music, but they're like, there's no one similar to you no more.
Right.
You feel me? Like, so all the people that they're still doing shows, they're doing concerts, but they're not really dropping music like every week, like how the new generation is. So my theory is like, yo, I might have to make a side name to do and then mess with all the young kids and say, let me just get in the algorithm, you know what I'm saying? So that's what
that's actually crazy. I never even thought about that. Would you be open to doing a collab or doing something with OGZ?
Yeah, definitely. I ran into him club. He gave me my respect, OG. I seen him at a club in Hollywood, and yeah, he's right now to me he's a new guy of, like, from our times, he's the new guy of this time. So yeah, OG.
Who else would you hop on an album with?
For the new guys,
yes.
Just, man, honestly, whoever's trending, I'm thinking I should start networking with the trending artists. So that's my goals in the new future to do it with.
I love how you think you think with business but artistry.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it goes hand in hand. Now, do you think because you are, you know, considered a Chicano rapper, you know, do you think Chicano rap gets the respect it deserves in the broader hip hop world, or you think or is it now just getting that respect? Because I see people, you know, hopping on it now.
I feel like I don't think it got respect. Like, well, the people, fans, it got that respect, but industry, no, because first of all, now it's getting respect on this because there's independent podcasters too, so they're gonna talk about who's hot on the streets. But industry, when you go to the major labels and stuff, they're disconnected with the streets. So they're not going to be like, oh, we just used to A, B, and C to keep going with the same formula. And then those guys sign artists that were big. Like, just like you say P. Diddy was, right?
Right.
He came in, he's going to bring his own homies. Jay-Z's going to bring his own homies, right? So they're not going to go and just pick anybody out the box. They just, they already got a circle. So I think the major labels did their thing and signed these artists, and then now the new kingpins, they're signing people in their own circle, where Chicano rap never had the door open to any of that. You feel me? Like, they didn't have their Jay-Z in there, right? So they couldn't get into that. So I feel like there's a disconnection, and even this now things are opening up, but still, like, I see Lefty Gunplay, he's doing good independently, grinding, but even he's not getting the respect of a major label. I mean, he was on a Kendrick record, so major labels should be knocking at his door right now, like, yo, your name's out there, but there's still a connection. Like, we don't understand that. We don't understand what it is. We don't understand that community. So I feel like that's the problem. So,
yeah. I mean,
know.
I think that gets frustrating too when they don't understand the community, because I mean, there's so many people that listen, that dress.
They're in the crowd. They're
right.
in the crowd. Yeah. They're I feel like it's like boxing to me. And this was the same thing I thought years ago. who's the number one paid guy in boxing? Canelo, right?
Right.
So why is Canelo big? Because he has a good following, right? So if you put somebody on that status of major performance, major level, you can help the Chicano industry blow up crazy, because he will be a cash cow. He will turn into, because there's so many people that will like his music and they don't understand how, but once you put him in that pedestal, you'll see things change. But that's the problem. Until that day happens, then we'll see a change, you know?
Absolutely. Listen, you just came from doing an interview with Be Real.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because we talked about it off air, but actually me and Mr. Capone were working on a radio show years ago, like decades ago, back in the IE at Wild 96, and it was called High Power Radio. You ended up getting way too busy, but we did a couple of episodes together.
Yeah, I wish we could still do it.
I wish that we could even find them, right? That would be so hilarious.
That's dope.
But we did. Again, you got super, super busy. But for the fact is that I'm bringing that up because, you know, some people will sit there and be like, oh, well, he's not Latino. But at the end of the day, Be Real supporting you.
Yeah.
I worked on a show with you, even though you got busy because your career just blew up.
Yeah.
But you have the support of Latinos in hip hop.
No, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in a neighborhood. I grew up in a barrio. So every time, that's just been my lifestyle. You know, at the end of the day, I am who I am, and I don't shy away from that.
Right.
But I am from a barrio. I grew up like this too. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So it's just the internet trolls that just want to hate. You know what I'm saying? And that's me. I never was on no racist tip or nothing like that. I show support to the Latino community, Chicano community, black community. So I see it all because I'm like an odd, you know what I'm saying? What's that word called? Black sheep in LA.
Right,
I'm the black sheep of LA, you know what I'm saying? So I had to, you know.
But I've always seen, everywhere I've gone, I've always seen everybody show you love and mad respect, and that's really what it's just been.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day. No, listen, Mr. Capone, you know, me and you go way back. I love that you're still doing it. You're still grinding. This is crazy. You're inspiring me to get on TikTok right now. I have
I'm gonna give you some secrets.
I have a little account, but I haven't. But I need to start learning it. And the
yeah.
fact that, you know what I'm saying, now it's like a whole new audience.
Yeah.
That's so dope to me.
Have you seen ODM on Elijah Brown on TikTok?
I have to see it.
I was like, he's on it all the time.
I've seen like his podcast and stuff, and is still doing some really good stuff, you know? So I definitely got to check it out. But the fact is that you've garnered this new fan base and you've still somehow maintained this longevity. And I really just think that it's a testimony to your freaking hustle. I don't know a lot of artists that hustle as much as you do.
Yeah.
It's work.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it's hustle because I couldn't get the opportunities like a normal artist could, because obviously I was from the streets, the hood. When I first came out, I was considered dangerous, right? Like people were like, people would tell me later, you know, we weren't trying to sign you because we were kind of like a little worried about, you know, your street element. Still to this day, show wise, we can't get you in too many venues because your street element, but that's changing now because nowadays, you know, it's all over the place.
Right.
But in our times, the doors were shut all the time until I started hitting those top records, and then like Julie Pilot, hey, they're calling you. They're like, who is this guy? We don't understand. How is he doing it? So we didn't say hustle, but we had to get out there and get it. If the doors were closed, we're gonna have to break down the doors open. So that's what I was, the hustle to make that doors open. I wouldn't give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not going to shut me down. They're not, you know, oh, you can't perform here. Next, you know, I'm performing at a big venue. At one time, I wasn't allowed at lowrider car shows. They're like, oh, you're too this and that.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So then finally, one time, the guy goes, I'm going to give you a chance, but you just make sure there's no drama. I'm like, my head, like, what drama is he talking about, right?
Right.
But then all of a sudden, I did it. The crowd went crazy. The guy was like, I'm going to book you at all the car shows now. So these are the obstacles I had to deal with, and people are like, "Damn, he does this car show." Nah, we couldn't even get to car shows. We couldn't perform anywhere.
I did see you, but I just thought it was easy because you're Mr. Capone.
No, it was hard at the beginning because there wasn't a real representation of me. There wasn't like even some of these other artists that were at the lower show. They had at least some representation. Like they had like a management or label. Me, I was the label. I was the management. I was that guy. So they're like, "Who's this guy? He's not a real management. There's who do we talk to? There's nobody that looks in a suit and tie above him, and you have to talk to this thug-looking fool, you know, to book him." So I was that guy, and they were I don't know if you say scared, but they were like,
probably intimidated. Yes.
Exactly. So I had to deal with so I had to knock down the doors. I had to pull up in the back of a lowrider show, pull up, and they're like, oh, security's like, why is he here? Why is he here? Then somehow I get on stage, crowd goes crazy. They're like, what? And then next you know, okay, we're gonna give you a chance, you know?
That is so crazy because the lowrider shows, I feel like that's your genre too, right there. I couldn't believe it.
And they're looking at me like they're not sure, but then the whole crowd's reacting. Then I'm performing, the whole crowd's singing the song. They're looking confused too, like how, like, bro, I don't know. Do I need a management?
They should have been booked you. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, this is what I've been through. We created the stores. You know what I'm saying? Our music. In the discotecas, the Spanish stores, our music, Chicano rap, wasn't even there. I'm the one that actually went into the Spanish stores, to the distributors, and said, hey, you need to put this music because some of the kids now are listening to this music. Then our stuff got put in all the discotecas, swap meets, everything, because of people like me and a few other people that made it, get it out there. So we put the genre, we put the music all throughout the United States. Cause we were the ones like leading. Like I would fly to Chicago, meet some people, a distributor, and like, hey, okay, we're gonna order 5,000 CDs. Boom, I would meet. Like we would do the footwork. We were the soldiers on the front line. So, yeah, that was the hustle. But were we popping? We were popping, but we just had to get it into more stores and to get more popping. Then Julie Pilot at FYE was like, yo, like we're just some crazy buzz about this. We need to try some CDs at our store. Boom, sold out first day. Like, what? Let's order more. Boom, sold out. Next thing you know, like we're selling out in the country. We're hitting Billboard charts, you know?
Damn.
So they undermined us so much that we could have sold probably even way more, but they're like, let's test this market. We were the test guys. They're testing, oh shit, it's selling here too. It's selling in Midwest. It's selling in Texas. It's selling in Chicago, East Coast, what? And then Elevation came, then Pocos Pero Locos came, then they started a syndicate show, and they had it in a lot of cities too.
Yeah,
and it was working in every city, and it just started
I love
bubbling,
that because these people were trying to get to the music. There was no place to get to it. You created the space for it.
We created the streets and we created the stores. We were the main front. There's a few other guys I would say that were also part of it, and we were all out there making change to open the doors where now radio's now like Pocos Pelocos is starting because there's some kind of movement going.
Right.
But who started it? We were the ones that were doing it. You know what I'm saying? From the gate. You know?
That's crazy. So let me ask you this before you leave. Pozole or menudo?
Oh, man. I guess menudo when you're Sunday. When
you're on menudo?
Yeah, I don't know.
Tacos de carne asada or tortas?
I'll take a torta.
You'll take a torta? Okay, let me think. Modelo or Tecate?
Modelo.
Okay, see, that was a good one because I don't even drink. See, I went ahead and I was able to do that. Hey, listen, you guys, make sure you guys go ahead and support him because he's going to be performing. And let's talk about that again. It's going down August 15th, Terra Grand Ballroom, 1234 West 7th Street. And, of course, they can find all the details on your Instagram, right?
Yeah, I'm going to promote it at the end of May, so you might not know about it, but lock that date in because when I do announce it, you guys will be the first ones to know. Boom.
Oh, we're going to be there.
Yeah, you bet. Oh, hey, there's my guest. I already got my guest.
All right, there it is right there. I'm a guest. Let's go. Come on, it's KDAY.